this week on the Golden Ball, but we're going to be giving plenty away at the end of the show. We're seeing Mr. Beckler, our 3-time king, trying to earn the right to dethrone our 2-time king, Glenn Meese.
No strangers on the show today. Jim Beckler dominating through the first 3 weeks of the season on the BPA King of TV Bowling. And now he's back to give it another whirl here in match number 2 against Riga Kalfas. Jim covers the sleeper there. Kind of gives it a what the heck look.
Old Sarge. Oh, I'm sorry. Old Sarge, who's been clocking our speeds, just handed me that on the 11th ball, the one where Riga Kalfas went high, he had been averaging around 18 miles an hour. The speed did fall down to 17.4. He did pull the ball. And now he said, where was that on the 11th shot?
We do have Mr. Dan Bettinghouse and Jerry Bettinghouse from Eastgate, Crossgate, Penhouse. They're all over the place.
So the Bettinghouses, they're everywhere.
And they do a very fine job with their establishments, keeping them nice and clean and family-oriented.
Which is what bowling is all about.
Right.
Everyone can play it. This man certainly can. Up in frame number 2.
He said, "Yeah, that would have been 15 grand, striking the 11th and 12th frame. But sorry, Riga, we're going to make you start all over again."
Well, he struck 12 out of the 13 balls he's thrown here, so the man is on fire. Jim Beckler, frame number 2, right on the nose.
Going high on the right lane. Again, obviously the left side is conditioned well. Riga Kalfas showing us that it's definitely hittable. This particular start of Jim Beckler's game is not as impressive as some of his other victories were, but I'm sure he'll figure them out and get untracked here. Cross lane for the 4-7 and makes it.
As always, Mr. Sammy Coleman doing our official scorekeeping today. Sammy is the past president of the Greater Cincinnati BPA. He was that in '63 and '64, and he was inducted into the Cincinnati Hall of Fame in 1966.
Deservedly so. Slammin' Sammy. Jim Beckler looking to get untracked here in the 3rd frame. A couple of spares up, but the way Riga Kalfas is bowling, that may not cut it. Again, a little bit high.
Jim obviously not very comfortable. I don't know if the 280 had anything to do with it, but looks like he's pressing a little bit, not utilizing what area is out there. It's either that or Riga Kalfas is just throwing the ball that good. Difficult spare to bring back, but it's there. That's the way you do it.
He hammered it.
Qualifying next week is going to be at Strikes and Spares lanes. Saturday starting at 9 a.m. and Sunday starting at 10:30 a.m. And the television show will be taped at Green Hills Lanes on March 25th. So if you want to get in on that Golden Ball contest, come on out and see it.
Riga Kalfas working on a double up in the 3rd.
Riga going a little wide that time, leaving the 3-9, one of the combinations that Jim Beckler had a little earlier, and he's shaking his head, not pleased with the execution there at all. Again, the way to make this is to hit the lead pin, in this case the 3-pin, just a little bit left of center, and the ball and the pin should go back and carry out the 9.
I was wondering how Riga would handle coming within 2 shots of 15 grand, but he seems to be bouncing back here in the 2nd match.
Very nice.
2 strikes and a spare now for Riga Kalfas. But that's got to be disheartening to come that close to 15 grand and watch it fly out the window.
So he's been disheartened before, so
yes, that's right.
he's used to it.
What was he at, a 298?
299,
right? 299.
down 7, as Dave would put
Yep.
it.
solid 7 on the final delivery, and he delivered it perfectly to the 1-2 pocket, much like all the shots we saw in the first match.
He's working on a 14-3 lead.
And he goes high.
Going high, and both players breaking up splits, which is very fortunate for them. However, it takes a little bit out of you when you let a ball run up high on the head pin to try to figure out, was it you, or is the condition actually changing, and should I make an adjustment? His setup looks good on his spare. Unfortunately, leaving it wide and leaving the door wide open for Jim Beckler to get right back in this match.
And Jim Beckler, as he proved through the first 3 weeks, anytime he had a little bit of an opening, he usually stormed through the door. And Riga Kalfas has definitely left it open here, and he knows it. Well, there it is.
As my 5-year-old used to say, that's more better.
He only used to say it, though, right?
That's right. We've corrected him long since. The scoreboard shows you Jim Beckler with 54 in the 3rd frame, but with a potential to take the lead here with a strike in the 5th.
Every week we do have a woman champion, and this week it was Pam Shishang, formerly Pam Bird. I'd like to congratulate her. Had a fine score of 673.
This ball for the lead, and does not throw a very good shot at all. Again, going a little wide. The 2-7-9. Let's take a look at, see if we can pick up what he's done wrong. Just not quite getting through the ball cleanly. The ball hits the head pin and deflects sharply to the left. There you see ugliness.
In the 1st frame, he almost left that lead, broke out the 7-pin. In the 3rd frame on that lane,
Ooh.
he went high. So once again, another overcorrection.
He gave it a whirl. We'll be back with the conclusion of match number 2 here on the King of Bowling, right after this word from our sponsors.
2 weeks ago, during our untelevised Youth King of Bowling, Jeff Whittle shot a 720 with handicap at Eastgate Lanes to become our Youth Bowler of the Week. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation, salutes Jeff Whittle.
High above the blue chips. RVs and mobile homes in one. Toll-free 1-800-RAVER-RV.
We're back with our 2nd match of the day. Jim Beckler against Riga Kalfas. Riga's up now in the 5th frame in what is so far a fairly tight match.
Both gentlemen with one open.
There's Riga back on track.
Mr. Excitement, huh?
Yes, indeed. He had the 288 in game 1.
Try to calm down, Riga, will you please? I didn't mean it.
Sorry.
I didn't mean it. You can go ahead and ball. Riga keeps his game consistent and under control by keeping his emotions very much under control, and it works for him. More animated players like a Glenn Meese, for example, that we'll see in our next match, lets it out. Not only the ball, but his emotions.
Riga's very systematic. Sets himself up the same way every time.
Come on, Riga. Come on. All right.
A double for Riga Kalfas here in the 6th frame, and that's going to put a little heat on this guy, Jim Beckler.
Well, the little smile you just saw on his face wasn't because he's appreciating Riga's talents. It's kind of like, well, it's either now or never.
Now.
It is now. You don't become a 3-time king by rolling over when a little pressure hits you. And Jim Beckler, obviously not that type of player, comes through with a great, great shot in the 6th frame.
By the way, Jim Beckler did shoot an 805, and that is a true feat.
Oh, man. That is some kind of score. Still having trouble in that left lane.
Jim not comfortable, cutting through the heart again, breaking down the split, but leaving a fairly difficult spare in the 2, the 4, the 7. Again, there you see it. Try to hit the rightmost pin and the middle pin about at the same time. Bingo.
Just like that.
Throwing strikes, Jen, like you know, it's the name of the game, but there's only one way that you see these guys, and that's when you come off of a string or a strike or even an open. You've got then to pick yourself back up, make your spares, and the strikes will eventually come.
That's right.
Looking for a 3-bagger. Got a 3-bagger. He's so solid once he gets up to the foul line. It just looks perfect.
This setup is perfect. Let's watch it again. It's always nice to watch perfection. There you see it, just going after the ball. 1-2 filled up all the way through. 10 in the pit. Every pin doing its job.
Talk about solid. You can see Riga stay in his form at the end of the line as the ball is even going all the way down the lane. He's still on his 1 foot in the exact same position as when he released it.
Could take a picture of that. Looks like he's posing.
He used to talk to himself quite a bit more in the lane than he does now. Doing a lot of mental talking to himself.
Well, there's 4 in a row, and he has taken control of this match.
Take a look. This is almost the put-away shot. Not the put-away, but a big, big shot for Riga Kalfas. Absolute perfection again. 10 in the pit. The man is tuned in. He is set up on both lanes now. Jim Beckler has to strike.
Not to be.
Strike he is not doing on either lane right now. Not. He's a good competitor, though. He's cutting up, going to have a little fun now.
I think he's turning around asking Riga how he's doing this.
I don't know. Was he using mirrors or what?
Give me a tip here. And he holds the spare again.
I had talked earlier in the opening about the St. Patrick's Day Classic going on March 17th and 18th. That will be at Penthouse Lanes on Vine and Ross Streets in St. Bernard. First place team, $500 guaranteed, and they have an extra niche. All 5 bowlers striking in the same frame will win a prize. What it is, we don't know. You'll have to go see and find out.
A mystery prize, huh?
Oh.
There you go, Jim. Jim finally says, there you go. Take a look at this one. Riga and people at home. There's the 8-pin. There is not the 8-pin anymore. Take a look at the score. Jim Beckler basically out of the match at this point. Riga is on a blistering pace again. Can take it out for a 255.
Well, there's one of them right there. 5 in a row for this man, Riga Kalfas. And what's the current champ, Glenn Meese, think? Seeing the 288 posted, and now Kalfas coming out and doing it again.
You see Glenn sitting right behind. There's Glenn, our champion, sitting right behind the pair, watching his next opponent, so to speak. He's looking him right in the eye. Wondering if in fact Riga can continue to start. See him even there kind of checking out where he's playing and what he's doing. That's a good competitor that scopes out the lanes and the opposition. Wow.
The wiggle, but no go.
What a shot. Throws a fantastic put-away shot and gets penalized. Take a look at it here. The 6-8, the right-hander's 4-9. The ball cuts through sharply, and then all of a sudden you see the 6 and the 8.
And you can be sure Glenn's saying, why couldn't that have been next match? Not now.
Well, Riga Kalfas closes out with a 219, 219 for Riga.
And the best Jim Beckler can do, even with 3 strikes in the 10th at this point, is a 2-0. So Riga definitely will go on to meet Glenn Meese, our champion. in the next game.
Well, there's a familiar setup for Jim Beckler, but he knows it's over. Riga Kalfas, we'll see if he can close it out, coming from match number 1 through match number 2 to the championship match. The man is putting a lot of X's on the board.
Some other high qualifiers this week: Mr. Tom Atkins, Ted Weiner, Randy Marshall, Dwayne Hatton, Paul Hayes, Bill Paella.
Riga Kalfas goes on to our championship match to meet Glenn Meese. Kalfas over Beckler here in match number 2. We'll be back with the championship match right after this.
Last week, during